T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
The following program is rated TVMA for language. We want everyone to be able to enjoy the program, but sometimes things happen, and we may say things that may be offensive to some or non-conducive to others. So in other words, shit happens. Oops.
Niggas coming.
I should have really been paying attention. What are you doing? Rubbing your nipples?
I'm trying to point to Spider-Man, nigga. I'm failing miserably because I'm doing it via the camera instead of just looking at my own fucking shit.
Boy. Welcome to another episode of Blerds N The Hood. I'm your resident supervillain, MrJayWashington.
I am apparently the dyslexic, locationally challenged SwaggyBlerd Winston A. Marshall.
I have no idea what was going on.
I literally should have just looked down. That would have solved my problem instantly. But I was like,
You look like you was trying to find a pimple you're supposed to be popping on your chest.
Like, what? Just like a.
You're supposed to pop right.
Like
Look, this is pre-recorded this week because, as we told you guys last week, he got stuff to do. I blame it on him.
Which is fine. It's normally Jay's fault. This time it's mine.
Bitch! Whoa! Whoa! That's what you will not do.
Hey! Look, your fault in the sense that, like you said, he got things to do. You normally have a show. You're normally out here being the funny man and making money.
I normally have a show.
I'm out here doing Shakespeare. I'm sorry. I am the proper nigga, and you all the nigga. So that's just.
I normally have something to do. I try to stay as late throughout the show as I can until I absolutely have to leave my house. Then I go. Winston is the one we're going to have to pre-tape on a certain day of the week. And I'll be like, hey, man, this is either A, my nap time, B, my post-workout beat-off time, or C, my work time. And I was like, all right, I guess I got it because I'm so normally doing a lot of administrative stuff. So I got to do this. So this is why we're pre-taped.
It's again, as I mentioned before, I'm doing Shakespeare again this summer. We have our first full run through on Wednesday evening when this is airing. Like it starts at 6:30. So I wouldn't have been able to do shit. So
and I'm actually at the Improv currently.
See, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you.
I know.
Fuck you.
I know.
Fuck you.
No. First of all, let me say this before I get thrown under the bus. I only booked this show when I got asked to do it a couple of days ago, like yesterday. We recorded this on a Monday. I got asked yesterday, and I said yes because I knew I wasn't doing Blerds N The Hood live on Wednesday. So you still
optics. No. Doesn't matter. Optics. The optics of you going on and on. This nigga out of time, he got something going on. He's like, I can't do it. So I just said, fine, it's my beat off time. Blah, blah, blah. So either way, then now, I'm at a show right now anyway. So it's not like I could have done it by myself. Like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, buddy. You want to keep being mad, buddy? Want to keep being mad?
I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to tell you this. MrJayWashington. I mean, that's typically where our producer would hit the button, which would make the thing go. It's a pre-tape. I'm going to leave this in.
My nigga.
Nigga. A nigga moment.
Man. Nigga. My nigga.
What you been doing? I wanted to know I'm leaving that the fuck in. Matt's ineptitude right now is getting put on blast the same way that Jay's going to sit up here and try to pretend like his ass didn't book
I was working on the Olivia Miles.
You hush.
Wasn't me. That's all I can say. Wasn't me. Okay. Weekend was busy. Did a lot of shows. Been trying to. I got my big boy bed put together. I bought a new bed. Which one of you greedy ass niggas is eating out of a bowl that we could hear clearly through your microphone? the show sometimes. I got. Oh God. I got. All I hear was. I just heard. I know everybody else are like, "What the fuck is he?" So I bought myself a new bed. Been needing a new bed for years, for a couple years now. My mattress was beat up. My box spring. I plopped down on that box spring one too many times. Where it's like, you'd be just tired, and you just drop on the bed. I plopped down. So I got my new bed put together. When I bought it from Wayfair, I did the thing to have them put it together. And the guy came by my apartment Saturday morning. Now, here's the thing. Cool, middle-aged white guy, cool, fine, whatever. So he starts asking me, he's like, yeah, he started out of nowhere, Winston. I want you to hear this, out of nowhere. So, I saw a video about Spencer Pratt. What was that all about? Oh, no, we're not doing this, nigga. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. Then was like, yeah, because I try not to follow those things because, especially like what's happening in Michigan, sometimes it's the Jews, it's the Muslims. Who do you blame? You blame everybody. I said, absolutely the fuck not. We will not be doing this today. Not today, Jesus. I said, and here's the thing. For those who don't know, I have a studio apartment. My studio's kind of big, but all in steel. It's a studio apartment. So this motherfucker's right. Nigga, I turned on Superman. I was like, let me just turn the movie on. Let me sit in front of the computer and just try to write while I can get some shit done. Then he asked me the one thing I was hoping to God he would never ask me being in my apartment. Want to know what that is? So what do you do? Because you come back, Winston, at this point. I don't give a shit. Because this is going to be better with you here.
I don't know if I want to be here for this.
No, because you know how when you come, because coming to my apartment, you'll see the lights, the camera, the mics, everything.
Oh, he thought you were like about to dick him down?
No, he didn't know. But then you see the backdrop. So he's like, so what do you do? So immediately I was like, my brain said, don't you say now one of your real actual fucking jobs. Because this is going to be a conversation you are not trying to have with this potential MAGA man. I said, I am a bouncer at a nightclub. I had literally just come back from the gym. So I literally was still in
Put your motherfucking dick on the wall.
Never going to escape it. Never going to fucking escape it. It's fine.
Dude, it's okay. It's okay. You got paid a lot of money. You're the one that was bragging about like, hey, man, you know what this means, right? Emmy-nominated actor on a show. Like that was you, remember? So like it's fine. It comes with the slings and arrows, my nigga.
You know what? Okay. You know what? That is.
Finish your story.
So then, he puts the bed together, and then I was like, because my bed. So here's the thing, ladies. I want to say I'm handy. My bed came in a 3-piece set. It was the bed and 2 nightstands. Day before, I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna put my nightstands together because I had a little free time, and I know I can be creative, and and I can use a wrench and all that. I was like, I put them together. And so when he put the bed together, he was like, oh, I thought there were other items. I was like, no, I did that already. He's like, oh, well, I'm done. Yes, you are. Have a good day. Got him the fuck up out of here. But yeah, I got my new bed. It's got lights on it, which I didn't know. It's got LED lights. It's cool. But no, that
I mean, so nigga, you really are gonna start making pornos then, because you turning the lights on and shit. All of a sudden, you got mood lighting and shit. Starts going super villain purple on a hoe.
First of all, let us not forget, my nigga. For those who remember watching Blerds After Dark, I still have light bulbs smart bulbs that I can change any color. So what a nigga
you could put them all together in tandem. Yeah,
bam.
That's gonna be a problem. Oh Lord,
bro, I'm literally, because also I'm all about consent. So just
I mean, I would hope so. Everyone should be.
You didn't let me finish my statement.
It's a weird opening statement. Like it's.
I got some of my older cameras. I'm gonna put one over that way facing the bed. So this way.
Here's what you need to do before you finish that statement. They just need to be attachments. And then you need to say, are you good with that? And make them attachments that are easy to lock in. If she says yes, you go, great, click, click. Versus it just sitting there. It's going to send so many. Just like, what the fuck? Like literally just watching someone walk in, see the cameras and go,
and it's 2 a.m. You didn't come up here for coffee. Now listen.
what the fuck is wrong with you?
You need to leave.
To be fair, for Luke Cage, she did.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not. Look, anytime there's ever been any recording in my home, it's always been consensual. From cameras to cell phones, whatever, it's always been consensual. Now, granted, I have a full library of a drive over shit, but no, a lot of shows. I had to get out of my head a lot yesterday because it was a very, very dark day for me, and I'm not saying that as a dark-skinned person. I don't know. I mean, people. Why would you giggle?
Because I tried to hold it in for a second. Just the way you presented that was like, what? Like, I am sorry, but for some reason that was very funny.
This is why light-skinned niggas can't get ahead.
I am brown.
Yeah, well, you know.
I am. Look, look. Let me turn the lights off so you can see. It's not nearly.
I feel like that's racist. I feel like that's racist.
No. I mean,
I feel like you're gonna tell me
I'm washed out in this light. Fuck you.
No, because I feel like you're gonna tell me that you try to turn the lights out. That's not racist.
Come on now.
That's racist.
Hold on. We need some sun. We need. Hold on. We need some sun. See, that's more.
Hey, wait. Do it again.
Turn the lights back on.
This nigga look like a scene from Paranormal Activity.
Don't even put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. You son of a bitch. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Okay. Oh man, but yeah. But nah, man, I had a very trying mental day that fortunately I drug myself out of it, which I did not like having to do. But it was something that was needed to be done. And yeah, man, because I'll tell the story real quick because we don't have many stories today, so it's gonna be really
we're good.
I went out with my homegirl who just got back from being on tour. My homegirl Kayla Starr, she's an amazing artist. She just dropped a video for a song, Real Estate, and she just got back into it. She was on tour with Mr. Fantasy, and so she was like, "Yo, let's like at my show in Long Beach, we hung out," and she was telling me about the situation with her guy that she's talking to and whatnot, and it just for some reason, bro, my sadness about relationships kicked in, and I did not like it. That shit out of nowhere just started to hit. And when I tell you that loneliness shit and that sadness, she was like, "Why don't you go talk to her?" I was like, "Nah," because then all of a sudden my brain went back to you don't approach, because I've gotten a little bit bigger as of recently. I don't know if you guys have seen, and so I don't know if you can tell. Look, you look right there. I don't know if you can tell.
I mean, no, we can tell because you got a compliment last week, and then you came on here and talked about I was attacked. Like literally, you were our Karen last week, bro. Don't do that shit. This white woman called me a bitch.
I literally felt like this, my stars. But so,
word.
I did declare. And so, like, there was a chick. She was like, "Why don't you go talk?" I was like, "Nah," because I really have gotten to a point sometimes where because it is not. I never want to be like one of these goofy ass look maxing dudes. Of course, everybody who knows
what the fuck is a look maxing dude. I've heard the term, but I don't really know what it means.
It's stupid motherfuckers that just want to they found a new way to say metrosexual. Anyway,
wait, for real? That's what it is.
That's what it feels like to me.
Matt, I need confirmation. He's shaking his head yes. All right, chat. Let me know if they on point about that, because if that's what it means, I have lost so much respect.
It's like a metrosexual influencer who's also kind of a Trumpy.
Yeah.
Wait. It's a Trump metrosexual?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
basically.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what that actually is because we know that Grindr gets shut down during every RNC.
It's a down low homosexual dude.
It's just a down low Republican.
Ooh, that's what we forgot to fucking talk about. That's what. Hey, Matt, can you pull up while we listening, while I'm talking, and then I'm going to go to Winston. While Winston is talking, can you pull up about the Christian influencer Jim?
Got you.
The what?
You will see what I'm talking about.
I'll press the button for myself then, Matt, because you're working.
Yes. So other than that, man, I was like, I started thinking about all that, and it just really got in my head because it was like just thinking about the loneliness shit. And, you know, again, I go to therapy to get past it, but I just had that moment. And it was just so much talking about it, it just almost made me break, and I had to leave the bar. I was like, yo, I gotta go. I was gonna drop her back off. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'll just catch an Uber. I was like, you sure? Bro, I was in my car. I hadn't had a moment like this in a minute. This is me being vulnerable. I was in the car just sad coming home at like 1, 2 in the morning. And like I haven't felt like this in God knows how long. And so it just had that moment and just had me in my head, but I'm good. But I just wanted to, you know, I just say all this to say to a lot of the guys who watch us, a lot of the men who either have gone through relationship woes, wedding, marital woes, or just being single or whatnot, your feelings are valid. Just so you know. You know, sometimes we're in a dark place, a down place, and we may come from that. We come out of that place. So just want you to know that your feelings are valid. But, you know, all in still, just trying to stay busy. I need to take a day out the gym because I went to the Comedy Store last night, saw my homegirl, Becky Robertson, who's been killing it. And then a bunch of people from the store who haven't seen me in like weeks were like, what the fuck have you been doing? Miranda was like, how did you get so buffed? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is an Instagram filter. But anyway, with that being said, Mr. Winston A. Marshall.
My nigga.
I told you I had it, Matt. I told you to focus on your work.
My nigga.
A nigga moment.
Man. My nigga.
What you been doing? I'm not gonna explicitly say the words "I got it" and this nigga's still gonna ignore me. Like I just. Hey, but I did. Hey, check this out, Jay. Look at this shit. I fucking program my fucking stream deck now to change the scenes, my nigga. This is fantastic. This new level of control that Matt will never have. Oh my God, it's glorious, absolutely glorious. What have I been doing? Let's see. Had a show this weekend at the House of Blues I had to handle. My homegirl had a birthday party for her dog, which was actually just an excuse, like most like children's birthday parties between the ages of like 1 and 5. Jay, back me up on this for like a second. That's not actually for the kids. That's for the adults, right?
No, I just before I answer that, I just want to say I have the question I've asked more so.
Yeah.
This friend?
She's married. No,
she's not black, right?
Oh no. She white.
That's what I was getting to. I was like,
no. She hella white. There was myself, Tia, and then like one black gay brother that were there. Pretty much everybody else was white. Couple Asian folk. But everybody's cool. Like most of the people that I know from there,
like an old black auntie. Myself, black girl, gay homie. There's a Mexican floating around somewhere. What the fuck you mean?
Floating around. As a matter of fact, there were 3. If you're just gonna ask the question, it was Matt's walking off. Is that what this is? Look, I only in the sense that you asked, you kept pointing, you were like, this is a white person party, right? There were white people, and I was like, yeah, there were some, like there was a majority of the folks over there. Why are we anyway?
Write this down, 18 minutes.
You get a fucking 18, bro.
Oh boy, Winston, here we go again. This next clip is all you, baby. This next clip is all you, baby.
You're just out here making me look like the worst individual on the planet. So no, it was a cool thing. I think the best part, we've been like a little worried just with Asia, just because she has been socialized. Like she was, and you know, she was at like an animal shelter when we found her and all that kind of stuff. But you always get a little nervous since you don't normally have her off leash with other dogs, that everything would be, you know, like chill. And she honestly was having the time of her life. All the dogs were running around the pool. Only thing that she refused to get in the water. The 2 bigger dogs, as soon as you threw the football in the pool, would jump in the pool and come swing the ball back and all that. And Asia was out here just looking like,
Has your dog ever been in the pool?
No, she doesn't fuck with water like that. So she hadn't. And so it was one of those things where I was like, come on, Age, like you can do it. Just like I'll put you in the shallow end of the steps. And she refused to do that shit. She was like, hell no, I don't know what the fuck you think this is. And she would go run off somewhere. Go ahead. What's up, Jay?
So your dog don't wash the bottom of her feet, is what you're saying. So your white dog.
No. We give her regular bath. So the bottom of her feet are what, but she refused to get into the pool. She doesn't like taking a shower, but she'll do it. Like we'll give her the full bath in the shower and all that kind of stuff. And yes, all of that gets clean, especially because when we found her paw pads and her nose were pretty cracked from being in Bakersfield and it being too hot. So we've been rehabilitating both her paw pads and her nose for the last year.
I can see. How do you rehabilitate her nose?
Essentially, there's a salve that we've been putting on it. So the first couple times it's been coconut oil, and now it's a specific kind of salve that we put on both, and it is slowly just starting to heal. It actually has a little bit of cocoa butter in the salve too, plus a little bit of medication. So
I gotta buy some more cocoa butter. We've talked at least twice, so I can buy stuff from her now.
That's no. That's fair. But that was Saturday. And then on Sunday. Which I got home after that. Kristen had a thing with some girls that she went to the Cinespia. For those that know LA, it's like where they do the movie theater in the graveyard. They did it was the movie Practical Magic, and I guess
I thought it was
Nicole, huh?
Was it Practical Magic? Because I saw a bunch of my
Practical Magic.
My girls went because I saw a bunch of them go, and I'm like, yeah, this is why I got a thing for golf chicks and chicks who dress like that. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. So Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock actually showed up to the screening. So like they were losing their shit because like they're both in the movie. So like, oh my god, I can't believe they're here. So I had to take care of an audition and clean up around the house and stuff like that. So but then yesterday I did a short film, which was hella fun because I got they let me I only had a couple lines in it, but they let me for a few. They're like, okay, we kind of like doing this and this, and I was like, sure, can I do this instead? And they were like, okay, let's shoot it how we asked you to, and then we'll do your thing. I said, okay, bet. And then right after they go, oh shit, that was actually a great fucking idea. Okay, do that again, do what you suggested again. And then this little bit later, they were like, we kind of need a line here. And I was like, I got something. They said, okay, I mean, you gave us one time, and I said the shit, and I almost fucked up the take for people because they weren't expecting what was coming out of my mouth. And the person next to me said, like they had like one of those little. So that was cool. Went to another fucking pool party because I guess one of Kristen's homegirls was having people over. I showed up last minute, and this time Asia's ass went in the little shallow end. Man, we were out here giving her applause and shit. We were like, "Look at your ass out here in these streets, man!" Just like walking into the shallow end. We were like, "You gonna be swimming yet?" So, just that. The only thing I regret. I got home from yesterday's pool party, man. I said, "All right, I'm gonna eat dinner real quick. Watch this episode of. I've been watching Spider-Man the Animated Series again." So like I was sitting there, I was gonna watch this episode, and then I'm gonna like go get some work done and all that shit. Nigga, why did I wake up at 11 o'clock at night? And Kristen goes, "You really should go to bed. You slept the whole evening. Like you're probably not gonna sleep now." Which she was right. I went to bed. I woke up at 2 a.m, nigga, and I've been up ever since.
Woke up was like this. Wow.
It's still dark out. Oh, it must be like 4 or 5. It's 2. Fuck.
Bro, it's so many times like I'll come in the house early, and it's like I've been ripping and running all day or whatever, especially with the heat that we've been having in LA. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, all right, fuck it, I'll just try to drop maybe for 15, 20 minutes. And then I'll think in my head that I said, Alexa, set me an alarm for, and I didn't say shit out loud. And I wake up like, okay, oh, it's midnight. Fuck!
Bro, I was so upset because I said, all right. I'm gonna smoke. That'll knock me out for sure. Nigga, I was literally asleep for 4 hours, woke up at 2 a.m, and not even 4 hours. That would have been 3. I was asleep for 3 hours.
Your body was already recharged.
Mm-hmm. So what I did is I sat there in bed and I played a game and watched something for like an hour or two. And then when I was like, nope, I'm awake. I got up, I got productive. I went to go work for a bit. Once I started to feel a little bit sleepy around 7, I went to the couch to go watch something else. I passed out for about 90 minutes. And then I woke right back up like that. That was my nap for the day. My day started at 2 a.m. That was my midday nap. And now I'm in the afternoon stretch. I'm real scared I fucked up my circadian rhythm for a little bit. So we'll see what happens.
It's only going to be fucked up for today. That's it.
Yeah. So
that's sleep. Try to go to sleep early tonight if you can.
Yeah.
Like, don't like normally we have our normal times we go to sleep, but like force yourself to drop.
Yeah.
This way your body can be like, oh, that was a fluke.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
no, for sure. But that's pretty much it. As far as this week goes, man, waiting to hear back on some auditions. I'm working pretty much every day. Like I said, we're getting closer to Shakespeare going down. So, there's I got to get further and further into these lines. Yeah. What's up?
One more thing, bro. We were talking about how I've been paying off bills and shit. And you were like, I really haven't done anything for myself, which is fine. Here's the thing I forgot. That even though you feel like you've paid a big chunk of bills off in like 2 weeks, those bills are still happening.
Yeah, they come back.
So I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, hey, dumbass, you are paying off what you've owed.
Yeah.
You got, because my Adobe shit just came through.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
No, I know. It never stops.
I was like,
it never stops. It's why I told you. It's why I said specifically, do something nice for yourself and appreciate where you're at and that you're out of panic mode, but that don't let the hustle actually go out of you because the bills will never stop coming.
Bro, I was like, Adobe? Oh, God. I was like, oh, yeah, I do have all of those. I was like, Casting Frontier? How often do I use it?
I was going to say, do you still use Casting Frontier? I stopped using that shit, bro.
I got to stop. Well, like, I don't upload anything to it, so I'm probably going to stop it because I just use it when I get the auditions through it. Because my agent will send me the audition and I just got to upload through them. So I'm like, I'm not doing, like, I stopped my casting network shit a while ago. I was like, why the fuck am I paying for this? But yeah, bro, it's just like bills just hitting. I was like, oh, other note real quick before we get started. I don't know if he's going to see this. I do want to say publicly to my son, congratulations on purchasing his first car. He got his car. He called me, showed me when he was going to get the title turned over. I was like, do you have insurance? Every fatherly instinct kicked out of me real quick. So I'm proud of him.
Hi, man. I'm good for him. That's actually fantastic. So,
All right, let's get into it, though. So, again, this is pre-recorded. Streamlabs.com/blerdsndahood/tip. Streamlabs. What just happened? What just happened?
Read the fucking tweet.
I can't see
what you can see it. It says a sniper stream.
Ain't no fucking way she got a Tibetan monk hairdo. Ain't no fuck.
Bro. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Panther, bro. She just...
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Hood Rat. Now, I'm sorry. I'm
Crouching
so sorry.
Panther, Hidden Hood Rat. There it is.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not that person, y'all. I'm actually the good one out of the two of us. I'm actually the more distinguished one, the more contrite one. I'm the one that actually has... Yeah. Streamlabs.com /Blerds in the Hood /tip. We'll read all of your streams next week when we're back. So this is, y'all already know what this show pretty much is going to be about. Let's just talk about it right now. Spider-Man Brand New Day opened up and it did what everybody thought it was going to do. And then
it did more. That's what's crazy.
It did more. So it is officially jumped up now because I think so. So I know what I put on the run sheet last night.
It is for 927 is the official worldwide
number. Okay.
299. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, that's what I was making sure. So as of now, it is officially the first opening weekend was $927 million worldwide. No, actually, no, it's not. It just beat Avengers.
Time out. It beat Avengers for domestic opening.
That's what it was. Okay. It didn't
just read. You have it in the run sheet. It's right there.
No, because I remember what I wrote. Again, you got to remember. I remember.
No, I get it. But I double checked when I came in just to see because I knew the numbers had changed. It is exactly how you have it written. It is correct here. So it's 360 for the highest, 360 million domestically, being the highest opening in history domestically. Avengers Endgame sits at 357.1 million.
And
but But it was shy of Avengers Endgame for the worldwide, because worldwide was 1.2 billion for Avengers Endgame. This was still 927 million. It is number 2. That is insane.
It was just 300, a little peasily, 300 million. Look, 300 million, bitch. What's another 300 million? But this movie has done. So it was 572 million from 66 international markets, which is crazy. Yeah. Also, after the release of Brand New Day, Tom Holland has starred in officially all of the top performing films opening all time. He's been in all of them. Infinity War, Endgame, No Way Home, Brand New Day. Okay? Yeah. All of these films have... So when he says after probably Secret Wars, he's taking a break with his wife, he has earned it.
Dude, I would make the argument, because I have to believe that maybe him and Zendaya, but definitely he has back-end points on this. There's no way that he doesn't. And so that being said, can you imagine that this was the wedding present you gave your wife? Hey, baby, you trying to have the greatest domestic opening in the history of movies? Because we about to do that shit.
Like, hey, baby. So I love you. I'm so honored to spend the rest of my life with you. And I don't know, what do you get the woman that you have that has everything? And I felt like with the back end points on this. So I feel like the back end points on this, what I've gotten us is an island to fuck all over. Who else is on the island? One dude named Jeeves. That's it. There's a plane that brings in supplies every 3 days when we need it. Other than that,
name Jeeves. Nigga, my fucking butler's name is Jarvis. If I'm fucking Spider-Man and Tony Stark's Iron Man and shit, that nigga's name is Jarvis. Even if his name was Jerome, he's renamed Jarvis, nigga.
Well, you literally just went to what I was gonna say, because my butler's name is Winston. Straight up, I just want to know what it seems like. I just want to know what it seems like to slave around a nigga named Winston. Hey, Winston,
nigga.
What the fuck you want there, boss man?
Me want new crab.
Why are you talking like me, boss man? Worry about what you need. What the fuck you want? What if you ain't gonna say it? I'm gonna go sit my ass down and have a red stripe. I ain't got time for this shit.
Yep, that's probably what happened. But again,
literally, you scream out, "I went to get your ass in here." What the fuck you want, boss man? He still doesn't. Kendrick still doesn't knock you for it. So we
YouTube will. Kendrick won't. YouTube does it for a minute, and then
not for that. Not for that one. Any Kendrick song specifically. He has a standing order, and he does not hit people.
Just I get nervous. Hey, brother, listen. I get nervous.
Of course. If we do this too long, they will hit us.
Hey, what's this fucking insane? We played a Family Feud thing. They're like, you niggers. Stop it. You're right.
Hey, survey says, Bing, get your bitch ass off my YouTube, nigga. Copyright strike.
So here's the thing. Brand New Day, when it came out, one of the things that was significant that people were unsure if it would hit that number that it reached was that it wasn't going to be in IMAX screens primarily, because those were still being occupied by Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Well, it was announced today, Monday, that Brand New Day will start to share the IMAX screens with The Odyssey beginning this weekend, August 7th. IMAX was like, hey, hold on for a second. Listen, Mr. Nolan, we're happy you've hit your billion finally. That's what we wanted. But
dude, that's what's wild. So just for reference, everybody, just to show how colossal of a movie Brand New Day is. So let me read you the top 5 earners in the box office worldwide so far. So we have Toy Story 5 sitting at number 1 at $1.065 billion. Remind you again, this movie dropped on the 19th of June.
Right.
Then you have Michael sitting at $1.016 billion. Remember, that released April 24th. You have Super Mario Galaxy at number 3, sitting at, sorry, I moved away before I looked at it, $1.011 billion, which released April 1st. At number 5, is The Odyssey at $911 million, which dropped back on July 17th. Well, as we mentioned, Brand New Day dropped just this past Wednesday, the official release date being the 31st. It is already in the number 4 position with $927 million, as we mentioned, surpassing The Odyssey already, which has had what, a 2 weekend start. So and it's going to shatter Galaxy, Michael, and Toy Story, which have all had weeks to months of a head start, bro.
Which also, because this is the last MCU movie before Doomsday. So people are seeing this first and foremost in hopes that, is there some direct correlation to Doomsday or even Secret Wars? And we're going to talk about our somewhat spoiler.
No. We'll put it up right now, especially because
there will
be. Yeah. So just give me a second. I don't know why it got moved. Here it is. Okay, so let me erase this. It says Spider-Man, Brand New Day, spoiler talk. Brand new nigga. You fucking stupid. All right. So it's, as always, as you see it here now. First of all, we will have the time code so you can jump to the chapter. We will separate this out. So Matt, I hope you're writing down this exact time when I'm saying this. We will have this
right in there. His face is like, oh
yeah. So you can jump to the chapter after the spoiler talk if you haven't seen the movie and want to see this, but it's right here. As long as this is up, we are talking Spider-Man Brand New Day spoilers. So Jay, go right ahead. What were you gonna say?
So again, knowing is this connected to Doomsday, Secret Wars, whatever the case may be, but I think one of the things, for the most part, this particular Spider-Man franchise has done, being it's encompassed within the larger MCU, it's been able to stand alone pretty much. Even if it has other people involved in the grand universe, it has pretty much stood alone every single time. And again, we all know the biggest thing behind it, which now will let you know what they're doing going forward, meaning Jean Grey being involved. Because they used a young Jean Grey.
Which they didn't just do that. I also need you to see this. They, as we know, the nigga Punisher in this hoe. Someone said this nigga just flipped his hair on his head to play the 2 roles.
Also, speaking of which, let me say this, and I want your thoughts on this.
Yeah,
I love the fact that Kevin Feige, Daniel Destin Cretton, and even Tom Holland allowed Frank Castle to be Frank Castle. There is the evolution of Frank, of course, from the Stone Cold Killer you get in Daredevil season 2 on down to the Punisher series to Punisher in Born Again, Punisher in One Last. This is the evolved Frank Castle, but he still has that same grit, that same mindset. Oh, this is horse shit, kid. Hey, you got your bullshit, and I'm like, oh. He's still Frank, but he's that evolved version of it. So it worked perfectly.
Yeah. I think that works, in all honesty. And I think what they did a good job of, like you said, we've had these steps to watch the character evolve. You really hit on that head, and it doesn't mean that Frank still doesn't have those urges in him, but we got to remember. I was actually watching a video about which Punisher has actually committed the most crimes, would serve the most time for the shit they've done of all the actors, like all of their versions of Frank. And ironically,
is it Thomas Jane?
No. It would, in theory.
Don't say Lundgren.
No. It would, in theory, be Bernthal. However, because of the actual case that Matt Murdock made on his behalf in Daredevil, the idea is that the trauma that he experienced from all that, he's actually in a psychosis set of rage, where he would actually get off on a insanity defense of rage, where he really didn't know what he's doing. So it would be Lundgren. Lundgren would ultimately end up with the most, just based off of how he went through his They break it down of what's murder versus second-degree murder versus vehicular manslaughter. Yeah. I'll send you the video. It's fascinating. But
because I've been rewatching. So I'm a big fan of the Netflix series minus Iron Fist, but I've been rewatching Daredevil since season 1. I just love to put it back on and watch it. And I remember when they introduced Frank, and then Frank got captured in season 2, and then he was talking to Karen. Oh, do that bullshit, PTSD. Don't do that. Frank was basically like, no, I know I killed all these motherfuckers. I know. Like Matt is the great lawyer. Matt like, no, his head is fucked up. The brothers are still at war. And Frank like, fuck what he talking about. I killed every last one. But
Jesus,
the banner element too. Again, Mark Ruffalo has become this level of Bruce Banner and the Hulk that I thought we were fully gonna get with Norton that we never did get. But now I think this one, I said this in my review, and let me know your thought. I think this was the purest version of the Hulk we've seen that has been incredible. Because when that motherfucker took that inhibitor off and he couldn't control it and they let him go and how big he got, when Peter was even like, I didn't know you could get that big. That was
okay. It's funny that you mentioned that because I was looking for something else, but I have another thing to share now. This is Hulk going with Spider-Man. This nigga literally cannot fit. Because that's exactly how big that nigga felt in the movie, bro.
When that motherfucker got bigger, when you just kept seeing him get bigger, and Peter was like, oh my God.
I didn't know you got that big. Oh my God. Because if you think about it, if you remember your MCUs, Peter didn't meet Hulk until you got to Endgame, and it was Professor Hulk. Because remember, when he showed up in New York, Bruce could not get the Hulk to come out. So he just kept being like, he was like, come on, big guy. Goes, no. So this is the first time you got to see full blown Hulk.
Hey guys, that's because the Hulk caught an ass whooping. Hulk caught a 3-piece spicy got there. That nigga
Hulk don't catch no more hands.
That was hit that nigga in the throat like good. It was good. So, but to watch him, and the moment when you had Peter and Frank trying to make a plan, and Frank was like, so she's the big target. We're going to deal with that. And you deal with that. Peter was like, are you just scared to fight the Hulk? Nigga, yeah.
the fact that the Punisher openly admitted, yeah, no, I'm not doing all that, bro. Because Peter the whole time, remember, had to keep saving him. Like, he would be shooting him, and all it would do is kind of piss Hulk off, and then Hulk would be ready to smash his fucking head in, and you just see Peter yank the Punisher out of the way, just like Staten Island, bro. So
Frank was like, fuck, I don't want to fight this. But I'm going to tell you now, I love the callback we got to the first Avengers when the nigga slapped him like Loki when he was like,
oh, he starts slamming Peter all over the place. That's his move, bro.
This was something also I saw that made me upset people. I saw some people make this dumbass comment about online. They don't understand. They're going to say, because as you know, again, spoiler alert, Frank is like, hey, I'm taking this Jean bitch out. Fuck what you talking about. She got to go, right? Which, if you're the Punisher, and Loki, can you blame Frank? Can you blame him?
Bro, considering at one point, as her powers started to evolve, so she started to develop her telekinesis, because the way that they did this is that
she didn't have it in the beginning.
That it was just her telepathy, which is also very accurate. For those that don't know, Jean is not an Omega level telekinetic. People get that confused. She's an Omega level telepath. And so essentially the way that people have been able to differentiate is like, I thought Professor X was a better, it's like, he is more refined because he has more experience. But as far as raw fucking power, she's actually a more powerful telepath. So watching her powers evolve, not just her telepathy when being forced in that dangerous situation by damage control, but her rage started her secondary evolution and her telekinesis came out. You ended up in a scenario where she was able to essentially do the Professor Xavier fucking mind freeze on everybody, and her telekinesis was going. So then she started freezing objects within the range of her as well, bro. She is a goddamn monster.
I'm gonna tell you what I loved about it. There's a scene, again, first of all, give Daniel Destin Creighton whatever the fuck he wants in the universe.
Is it a Destin Daniel Creighton?
Destin Daniel. DDC. Give DDC whatever he wants. Okay? Give DDC whatever he wants. My apologies for the order mess up. But to show the brain when damage control was watching her, he was like, when dude was like, her brain is evolving as we speak. And to show that was like when Frank realized, because also remember, Jean takes over him at a point. And after having that, Frank was like, yo, she got to go.
both that and the fact that I have to give so much credit of the little things that they did to just remind people of what it's like under this particular control, to even have a scenario where Spidey was able to piece together that he was being fucked with based off of by damage control, by the fact that he, like, someone said, oh yeah, you know, I don't remember a goddamn thing. It's like, wait, you don't remember anything. Why didn't he tell me?
MJ said it to him.
It was MJ said it to him, but he was like, wait a minute. Leader Damage Control told me that that's when, you know, she was in his mind and like pulled the VMAX thing out, but he didn't know what it was.
He didn't know what Sarah was. Yeah. He didn't know who, because he lied and said Sarah was a coworker.
Sarah. It wasn't VMAX. It was Sarah.
Was a coworker who had just passed, and he was like, "That's what she must have pulled." And he was like, "Oh, okay," because remember,
not this nigga saying coworker, bro. And technically, by doing that, it wasn't a lie. It's a fucked up thing. It was a forced coworker situation, but that's not entirely a lie. Technically, it's someone that you worked with at work. Just whether or not they wanted to, they consented to said work. Jesus,
what made me almost break. That's one thing. Let me say this first. This movie is arguably one of the most will have you most emotionally invested out of all of the Tom Holland Spider-Man, because you go through his life of being alone for 4 years, just watching the love of his life and his best friend live their lives, not knowing what happened. No one knows he exists. You have him trying to reconnect, but you have the Jean Grey element of it all. And then when you find out what VMAX is, and you realize VMAX ain't shit.
VMAX is literally just the name of the ventilation system. So it was the very last thing that Sarah saw when she died. And I won't lie, for half a second, I was like, nigga, I don't ever remember anything about Jean having no goddamn sister. And I had to go do my research, and it's used very sparingly, but Sarah Gray does exist. I think it was X-Men 153 or something like that was her first introduction. So it wasn't something they just made up out of the absolute blue. It's just, she's just not always used all that much. That's it. Sarah is kind of a rare sort of scenario there.
Also, we found, so there are a lot of Easter eggs to the X-Men also. Like I said, we know now, it's pretty much official. The X-Men that we will see at our core are going to be younger. But you also know what color Jean Grey's outfit's going to be. Because of the scrunchie from Sarah. She's going to have the Marvel Girl outfit, which will probably evolve into the thing. Please, God, don't touch that story for X amount of decades, but she's going to have the Marvel Girl outfit. But the emotion behind all of that, and then everything, because again, Spidey's never dealt with telepaths. But he's never dealt with telepaths.
But I appreciate the fact, were you about to say that his spider sense was allowing him to avoid the mind control himself?
Yes.
Because it essentially, the funny thing is, this is where, if you have been paying close enough attention, that actually checks out. Because remember, when he fucking got like astral plane knocked out of his body by fucking Doctor Strange, his body was still just like, his body was still, his Spidey sense was protecting him, and they were like, what the fuck, how are you doing this? So like, that's essentially what it is. His Spidey sense really gives him that protection as far as that goes, and the only way you're getting past it is if he lets you in. Like, she could have probably bullied her way in already, but remember, at the end of the movie here, he is like, if you want in, come look. Like, I'm not, take it, go ahead. And then I thought it was so beautiful to have that idea of, once she gets inside of his head, that she gets to see that he really did go through the same thing about how all this shit got fucked over like that. And she got to see Aunt May. She got to see how Aunt May was taken from Peter, but the love and advice that he has, and that's the one little part of his mind. Because early in the movie, they showed that when she tried to get in his mind, and they did such a good job. The back of May's head, because you only see it for a second, you think that is Jean invading Spider-Man's mind, because we don't know it's Jean yet. Only to find out that was the scene of Aunt May that, like, he essentially forced her back out to not be able to see. Destin Daniel Cretton did such a good fucking job with this movie.
I love the callbacks to the whole series. Several callbacks.
The broken Delilah necklace.
The Black Dahlia.
Black Dahlia, not Delilah. The Black Dahlia.
Black Dahlia. But just in general, Like you would have scenes from the different films to remind you of different things he's gone through. So here was a question that a lot of people have asked me, and I want to know what your thoughts on it. So remember, there's a point when eventually after MJ finds the letter after staying with Frank, she takes him back home. They hang with Ned because he's finally feeling like friends. So we don't know time-wise how long they've been together, right? We don't know the time limit. MJ still doesn't remember. Of course, she's like, hey, which was the most heartbreaking line ever. She was like, hey, I know what you said, and I get the memories you had, but I don't love you. I don't know you. Nigga, I was in the theater like,
Yeah, that one broke my spirit a little bit. I was like, fuck, dude.
But
that's
so
rough.
the belief is the handshake broke Ned, and Ned being magical. So I said no.
I pushed back on that.
I did too.
No, but I'll tell you why. Because I saw someone posting this, and to me, I'm not coming at you, but the way that someone posted this, I felt like I maybe you only saw it the one time. I was like, media literacy on this one thing. Remember, when he kissed MJ, that was not MJ. That was Jean. So Jean. There was nothing for her to be like, that kiss felt familiar because you did not kiss MJ at the time. Versus with Ned doesn't remember who Peter Parker is. That doesn't mean that he randomly forgot his other memories, as was pointed out, being like, yeah, man, I've been trying to figure out who the fuck Spider-Man was, because like all these times he saved me in Europe, he saved me when we were on the class trip in Washington, meaning he didn't lose the memories of what was going on. It's just Peter is gone. So the handshake was second nature because it was something he did all the fucking time. They didn't wake him up as much as he goes, why did I know how to do that? Is essentially what was going on. What? Okay, Matt wants to say something. I'm so curious what you're about to say. What?
You're actually both missing two key points. One being Banner talking about Jean broke something in his head, and two being when Jean has everyone frozen, you can see MJ shed that single tear. What's been theorized is that when Jean has gone into people's heads, that she could break down barriers that made it easier for them.
Yeah, but I'm gonna push back on that because Jean literally, when she's in MJ, she literally tells him, there is not a single memory of you in here.
But it's that moment specifically. It is her having everyone frozen, where she is going into everyone's head control and breaking down barriers.
But where's the evidence that she's doing that? There's nothing that's happening other than being frozen.
There's the single. If you pay attention, they cut to a shot of MJ.
The single tear. The single tear is, nigga, why can't I move?
What are you talking about? The tear is, why can't I move?
Some people don't feel otherwise. I'm just
that theory is so insane to say that though, and I hear where you're coming from. But
it's the Banner moment that is the primary.
I can't move.
The Banner moment is the primary.
But the Banner moment was intentional. She was doing that to Banner because I needed the
Hulk
to rage out so I can go focus on getting in the vault. I don't think that was because I'm in your mind, I'm breaking a barrier, because if that was the case, MJ would have recognized who he was the first time she got in his head.
So if you pay attention, the Banner break was unintentional. It happened between her being in his mind and his head getting hit multiple times throughout the fight. I've seen the shit 3 times. That's why I'm pointing it out.
I know what you're saying, but you're also, Matt, you got to remember, when you're talking about Banner, regardless, Banner and the Hulk are legitimately 2 separate entities that Banner is fighting 24/7 to suppress.
Which I would love. I get that we're jumping around. I would love an explanation of when Bruce essentially was like, all right, I'm going back to Bruce, because remember, he has just been chilling in Professor Hulk this whole time. So I would love to know when that just stopped.
He probably had been trying to. You got to remember, at one point when he said, I just figured out how to meld the two. His whole thing was, I've been trying to, because he even says it, I've been trying to figure out how to suppress him, but I just figured. The
only part about that doesn't make sense. When he presented himself in Endgame, he was like, me and the big guy had a look. Because remember, at the end of Infinity War, he's like, we got to have a talk. And then the next time we see him in Endgame, he's like, yeah, I just figured it out. And me and Hulk, we found a way to mend both personalities, where I have the Hulk's body, obviously, into the same part of the rage, but he has mine. So we're like chilling and shit. I would love to know, especially because then, regardless of how you feel about She-Hulk, he shows up in She-Hulk. He is still rolling around as Professor Hulk. At what point did that breakdown happen? If it had even been a scenario where it was like if you would made a reference to, yo, the minute that Thunderbolt Ross lost his fucking mind, they were like, Hulk got to go back in. I don't give a fuck if you think you have it under control. If you had even had a line like that of like, they said, no Hulks, put that nigga away.
But I think the problem becomes, and I think about this on a screenwriter level. Because, yes, having a line of that dialogue could satiate a lot of things, right? The problem becomes with this being such a visual universe.
Sure.
Because yes, post New World, Brave New World Order, whatever the fuck it was called. Post that, yeah, you're like, we got to see something. But you got to remember, for the most part, Bruce, yes, I understand. Bruce said we came to understanding, but when it comes to the Hulk, that understanding is minimal at best until the Hulk gets tired of it.
But that's
Hulk is like, I'm cool.
But that's the whole thing. You don't even need to show me necessarily scenes if you don't want, but because you had the moment of Peter going up to him and being like, hey, because to be honest with you, the conclusion Peter comes to where he accepts both sides of himself, the human part of himself and the arachnid part of himself, which then actually makes him the strongest version of himself versus trying to suppress half of who he is. That would have been such an interesting through line in the story to connect those two together. I know it sounds like I'm nitpicking, but it is one of those weird things where it was under control, and now all of a sudden it's like, no, I have to suppress the Hulk down. Why? What happened?
No, he said it. They said why? What happened?
Why?
It was him seeing them. It was him seeing her kiss another nigga. That was the moment for him, for Peter, that sent everything through the wall. It was when he saw. Remember, he went to the party. He went to the party and he was going to talk to her.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about with the Hulk. I'm saying what happened in the Hulk that agreement no longer worked. That is what I did.
But there's a million. I mean, I hear what you're saying and what you're asking.
But that's an easy fix. That's all I'm saying. Is that it's not. I'm not saying you have to go and then do a whole backstory of whatever. You literally have an out to just go. Yeah, man. The minute Ross lost it, I got a directive immediately. Either put the Hulk away or whatever. And so I had to learn how to suppress him. And that's where I came up with this.
I think they dropped it for one reason. Because this is what you did. And again, this is long-term thinking. All right. Spider-Man, more so Bruce Banner and Spider-Man are the reasons now for the collars. They are going to be,
and which is also going to be fucked up. I started talking about that.
They are going to be the reasons for the collars. Because Peter, trying to suppress himself, found a way to suppress Jean, and Damage Control now has that information, and they are going to simply just enhance on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I am waiting for the moment when you actually get mutants full blown in here, and you have Peter, and then all of a sudden Peter's gonna feel his own level of guilt that he essentially was the reason. Because they even brought that up. How do you feel that Damage Control, like supposedly your allies have come up with ways to neutralize your own shit? And so it's the same thing. They took his design for that inhibitor, which they will absolutely make collars.
They're going to make the collars. Mm-hmm. They're going to make the collar. But also, it was crazy when this nigga walked into Damage Control and the motherfucking machine was scared. And they knew the scan was able to tell everything about him.
Arachnid DNA, blah blah blah. It's a threat. It was like I'm not taking the mask off, Brody. Like it's not. I was worried.
Like, hey, bro, I'm not taking this motherfucker off because it was. You know what it felt like in that moment, and I'll liken it akin to. I'll go television, Arrowverse. How Amanda Waller in the Arrowverse knew everybody's identity, whether they do it or not.
But Waller always knows that, bro. Because like even in thinking of Justice League Unlimited, where she's like, "Look, rich boy." If I want to do, it's like,
rich
okay,
boy.
You know what? You want to do that shit? Then how about I let everybody know about the government funding you done stuck off to the side, bitch? If you go down, we all gonna go down. And she said, "Well, fine, think on it." And the minute he left, she said, "Oh," like go press the alarm button.
She never hit that nigga. She's like, "Hey, look, I know what your other night activities are, Bruce." And Bruce be like,
well, then why don't we all come in the light?
Shit. Amanda Waller be knowing nigga. Hey, Clark, can I talk to you for a minute?
Bro, the way that I hate her, but I have so much respect for her ass at the same fucking time, where she don't play no games. Yet she's clearly terrified, but she's also standing on business.
She know, if this go wrong, If this conversation go wrong one bit, up. So that's what I liken the damage control shit to. Like Metzger wants to know. So I don't know, and also because I don't know how far they're gonna take Metzger because of who he is in the comics. This nigga hates mutants. Okay,
does he?
He kind of hates.
I wasn't sure if it was a mutants thing or if it was more to a Waller and it was like a meta thing. So he just hates.
I mean, metas are basically mutants in a sense, but this nigga.
No, I get it, but that's one of the things that people all the time go, why the fuck do y'all hate the mutants and the X-Men so much, but you cool with Cap America running around in this hole and Wonder Man just out here in these streets and fucking.
Because Captain America was created. Captain America and technically Wonder Man are created. Right, which is
fair. Y'all, with the exception of J. Jonah Jameson, y'all niggas cool with Spider-Man. You cool that Iron Man is going out here with like nukes strapped to his chest.
Shit! I got a breaking news story that just came through.
What happened?
Okay, look.
Is this still spoiler or should I pull this off?
You can pull this down.
Okay.
Remember, I think it was last week or the week before last, we talked about the actor Ryan Hurst who was injured playing Kratos on God of War.
Yeah.
We now have the new casting of who will be replacing him.
Oh shit!
This motherfucker gonna have to get all that size back. Dave Batista has now been tagged to play Kratos in God of War.
Whoa!
That means Batista is about to pick up.
Where did you get that from?
It is on Deadline, my brother. It is on.
Whoa! I can't spell Kratos and got something completely different.
I don't want to know what you're. I don't want to know what you're.
Yeah. Oh wow. He's in talks. I guess it's not official yet, but it's damn close.
Because he would have. So have you seen Batista recently?
Yeah, he's lost a lot of weight because he was tired of holding it all. Understandably, at that age, it's probably doing a fucking number on him.
So for him to play this role, which means they're going to give him a bit of time and a bit of the gas to get back to where he was.
Yeah, Batista's extensive background as a decorated professional wrestler would allow him to step into a physically demanding role such as Kratos with limited preparation given the tight schedule. What's more, he's coming off shooting a similarly physical fantasy project, the new Highlander movie, which required him to bulk up. So he's already almost to the size.
Oh, so he's already been putting it back on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm fine. If he's already, I didn't know he was in Highlander.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get it. I mean, let's see. It's only the second series regular role for Batista following season 2 of the Apple TV drama C. Reteams him with Amazon MGM Studios after starring alongside Momoa in the film The Wrecking Crew earlier this year and the upcoming Roadhouse 2. Batista has several other movies coming up: Alpha Gang, which premieres at the Toronto International Film Festival, The Animated Ally, and Highlander. Okay, bet. I mean, good for him. That's absolutely crazy. But yeah, he's in negotiations, so it's not fully done yet, but that's probably gonna be what ends up happening. Wow, good for him.
That is damn.
Look, just the look. That's actually very good casting, and he's proven that he's actually become a very good actor. I'm actually because at first Drax was like kind of a joke, but then when you start seeing the rest of the shit that he did, like what was a Knock at the Door or something like that, the one where he was like the evangelical and you had the couple in the cabin.
Yeah, Stuber. What he did, Stuber. He did Hotel Artemis. Dave Batista's resume has been extensive.
Knock at the Cabin.
Extensive.
Yeah. No, he's been crushing. I'm gonna have to watch Knock at the Cabin again. That movie was good as fuck, dude. It was disturbing. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh, dude, I always have a little bit of an issue with M. Night Shyamalan stuff because he always has to do his twist and it doesn't really always work out. But this was about essentially like a gay couple that was like on a vacation. All of a sudden, there's this weird knock at the door, and like they think that people are hunting them for being gay, and you find out that there's something way more insidious going on, and who they're supposed to represent. As someone that loves the X-Men, there's a couple references in there about a few things I actually think you would really like. So you should check that shit out, bro. It's actually a very, very good movie.
Okay. So let's get back to this real quick before we move on. Overall,
you didn't like A Knock at the Cabin? Man, fuck you, Matt.
Let's roll it back up real quick. So let's just say this.
Yeah. All right, we're back.
Let's just close this out with this. So some people are upset about the post-credit scene, and I'm like, why are you mad? This is a Spider-Man movie. You should expect it. Don't expect anything.
What was it again? One of the Spidey trackers showing the Spidey was in space or some shit?
He's off world. It's basically saying Secret Wars.
But the only thing that confuses me about that, because I am curious.
Or we don't know if he's in Battle World. We don't know for sure. Also, we have to ask this one question. Mm-hmm. The time frame. Remember, we're watching 4 years. This is 4 years past in his life. So 4 or 5 years, Matt.
Just finish your point first, and then I have something to add to the post-credit scene. So go.
This is 4 or 5 years in his life. So we don't know if we're talking. So we know he came back from the blip, all this shit, right? That's 5 years. It's already gone past. But after No Way Home, it is technically another 5 years for him. 4 years, excuse me. It's technically another 4 years because he's watched them matriculate through their entire college career.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go through 4 years of that. So yeah, it depends on what the time frame for everything is. I have to assume that because remember, Doomsday was originally supposed to come out and then this movie, and then they switched them around. So it is very possible that they kept the same timeline that this happens post Doomsday. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how that goes one way or the other. But it also,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, the other thing I was just going to say is we've also alluded to the fact that Miles is coming down the pipeline one way or the other. Tom has said he wants to usher in a new Miles and let him kind of do the takeover stuff. So there's also a possibility that the Spidey tracker is actually not tracking him, but is tracking Miles potentially.
In another universe?
And then maybe that's what it is it's just noticing like, oh, yeah, there's some Spidey activity coming over here. And maybe that's the incursion they're talking about.
Or if it's a Spider-Man tracker, you and I on the same page. What if it's like Across the Spider-Verse and it's picking them up, all of them?
But that's what I was thinking too, is like in the way that you would look up into the stars, you don't know exactly where those portals are. What if that actually is picking up on one of those? We haven't gotten to Beyond the Spider-Verse yet. Maybe that's even connected because we've seen that was by having Donald Glover show up in the prison that he was in Across the Spider-Verse. Like, bro, this shit can go so many different directions. Matt, what were you going to say? You said you had one other thing you wanted to bring in.
So I wanted to point out that people and many people have pointed to us, the actual Tom Holland Spider-Man tracker point did not move. It was a completely new tracker point. And there have been rumors, especially after Comic-Con, where they heavily featured Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in the hype video before they started the panel, and in some artwork apparently that it's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man leading into the beginning of Doomsday.
I mean, that'd be
because it just said Spider at the end of the very movie. It just says Spider-Man will return. That's it. So like you have to allow your imagination to say, oh shit, this doesn't necessarily mean. Like, we know Tom Holland will be involved in Secret Wars, but it doesn't mean that we're talking Garfield.
Here. Hold on. I don't want to play the whole thing, but I went and found it because someone recorded and put it on YouTube, and it said, hold on, it said new Spider-Man sighting. So that doesn't necessarily imply it's the, you know what I'm saying?
It's the same Spidey. It's just a new Spider-Man sighting. So, but with that being said, we want to know your thoughts on Brave New Day. Yes, Matt.
I do have one question because this is something people have been getting at online, and I thought it'd be a great one to bring to you. The Jean Grey murking people.
Oh yeah, people. We should talk about that before we get out of here on this. People were pissed off that Jean was killing people. I have an immediate response to that I'm like, nah, son, you're not gonna stop this. So here's how it goes. I need y'all to remember that at a certain point, when Jean gets the Phoenix Force, she goes out into space and she sees a star, and she goes into a star and kills an entire solar system. She genocides billions of people. Granted, that is again with the Phoenix Force in her, but you also have to remember her traumatic story as far as typically it's her friend Annie that she sees, and she ends up like Annie gets hit by a car. She connects with Annie's mind when all that happens. A lot of times when Jean's powers first manifest, they manifest out of control and they end up hurting people. So the idea, knowing specifically that the route they went was her sister, her best friend, her mentor was kidnapped and experimented on. I'm going to tell you right now, we have seen Tom go on a tear that the minute Aunt May was, he was bitch slapping, was ready to stab the goblin in the heart. I would also be on the warpath if you kidnapped and murdered my sister.
Hey, let me just say this. Tom Holland will save a person. Remember the kid he saves when the police car comes by? He saved the kid. We don't know who else the fuck got hit by that car. You ever see Frank shot grenades in the middle of busy-ass New York? What are we talking about?
I mean, but go ahead, Matt. I know what you're going to say, and I already have a rebuttal for it. But
no. What I was about to say, it's almost like Jean Grey needs a mentor to help her rein in her powers.
That's not what I thought you were going to say, but you were correct.
But and it's a setup for her redeeming her as a character.
Everybody. But what I'm saying is, we're saying this to say, every hero, for the most, nearly every hero, has gone through a bunch of shit where a lot of people have Cyclops kills people in school when his powers first kick
activate. Exactly, because that's the other thing that I think helps with this. We have to bring mutants into the fold, right? We only have a few, and so far nobody's really done it. The mutants that we've seen haven't necessarily done. Namor, potentially, if you want to go that route, but that's kind of self-contained down in Wakanda. The Wakandas hate them niggas, but like we don't know about everybody else. If you literally go from the route of this is one of the first major sightings of mutants, bro, there was some ghost thing that was going around jumping through people's heads. It froze all of New York. Now all of a sudden you make mutants a threat. This actually, the reason why this is a good thing is because now, and not good.
There's a reason
but it's good for storytelling. There is now a reason to hate. See how much of a threat they are? They took over a quarter of New York City and froze it. Just one mutant did that shit. They're not to be trusted. That is great. What's it called? It's not the setup, but yes, it's a great story. But oh my God, what is wrong with me? World building. Yes, when you're foreshadowing, it's great foreshadowing of why people hate mutants.
Because the next director of Damage Control will literally do a press conference that tells you there are people that have these. We know of our heroes, we know of our Avengers, we know of our extraordinary heroes, but there are people who have abilities that go far beyond the pale of comparison, that we do not know what will happen. The Jean Grey incident will be the first one. Even though Jean Grey won't be mentioned, because I'm 1,000% sure that bitch will wipe everything clean from the Damage Control computers. They're not going to know it's Jean Grey. But the thing of mutants, because again, you've heard the terms here and there. Namor told Shuri, I was a mutant. Cool. We heard it. We heard at the end of Ms. Marvel season 1, there's something weird about your abilities. What? It's like a mutation. But you've never heard anyone be called mutants as of yet. And this is the beginning to it. So what's going to happen?
Remind me.
Is it season 1 or 2 of Ms. Marvel? But
there's only been one season of Ms. Marvel.
Yes, it's at the very end.
But you're right. But if I'm not mistaken, didn't they go the route of as well?
I'm sorry, you dropped out for a second.
Sorry, didn't they go the route of making Wonder Man a mutant as well?
Yes, Wonder Man is a mutant.
And so that's the other thing is what we're realizing right now is they're using Damage Control to be not just the group that's dealing with superhumans, but specifically hunting and controlling mutants.
Because remember, Simon's abilities kicked into a house fire when what age was he, ladies and gentlemen? 13. So they're literally, because if you know the actual story of Simon Williams, he was actually created. They wanted to infuse psionic energy in him. He was like, all this other shit, blah, 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 blah. But this still works because now you have mutants, but you have not officially. We've been everybody keeps saying we want the X-Men, we want the X-Men, we want the X-Men. And the thing is, the X-Men are a group, but the group is about a group of subhumans per se, quote unquote, called mutants. And you have been getting that, which brings me to the next point. Streamlabs.com/blerdsndahood/tip. Streamlabs.com/blerdsndahood/tip. Make sure you go ahead and drop those. Leave comments down below. You can take the spoiler thing down because I really want to get into this before I forget, because now I am at the point where I need to discuss this. So Mahershala Ali has officially come out in a GQ interview and let everyone know that Blade is done. Okay, Matt, if you have, you can pull it up. Whatever, if you got his asset. Mahershala Ali has said in the GQ interview, well, if they wanted to do it, they would do it. They didn't do it. Basically, this is what he said, quote, and this is the action from the interview. For whatever reason, that project is not for me. If they wanted to do it, we would have done it. So I have to move on. He goes on to say, again, you had me under contract. They have billions of dollars. If they wanted to do the movie, we would have done the movie. So we're not doing the movie. Kevin Feige has also said on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, this is something Kevin Feige said, quote, I feel like a gigantic loser and failure that we didn't get off the ground with Mahershala. Okay? So I need to make sure this is finally addressed. I started saying it last week, and I want people to understand this. I need people to understand the difference between what are PR statements to save face and what
I'm gonna give you center stage.
Please go do, because we're due a long-standing JayWashington rant. I need you to understand what is PR statement saving face and what is the actual facts. To sit there and say they got billions of dollars, they can do this if they want to, they can make this happen. Again, what do we keep hearing stories about them constantly having to do with this film? Hire directors and writers over and over and over again. Oh, well, because he didn't like the script. He's an Academy Award winner. He doesn't have to like the script. When have we heard of any Academy Award winner coming on board to a Marvel Studios property dealing with that? Okay? Like I said before last week, you can go watch last week's episode. The problem was not with the scripts. It was not with the director. It wasn't with the story. The stories all were broken. It was the problem with the actor. It's the problem with the star. Okay, the star had to be told, hey, buddy, this is what happens. We get the scripts, we get the story, we go film the story, we do what's called principal photography, and anything we need to fix, add, or change, then we do. They couldn't get to that process. Also, Blade has been done for over a year. It has been scrapped for over a year and some change. They just now are telling you this. The public is just now finding out about this. You're like, no, it was always going to happen. They kept giving us updates and blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you for a fact, all of the actors that were on the project have been released over a year ago. Over a year ago. So that ties into Wonder Man being canceled. Matt, you can pull up there. Do you have the outset for that? All these things have been canceled. There should be assets, and there's Wonder this symbol. That is fucking hilarious. That is hilarious. Wonder Man's second season was announced to be canceled after just being announced it was going to happen back in March. You can take the asset down now. So then that let people go. So I just got my Blade thing out the way. You can bring Winston back for this one. So now they brought up this whole big plot of all of these quote-unquote projects being canceled. Do you have the graphic for that, Matt? You do not. Okay.
You're talking about the one of that I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I can
pull it. So say it for the public. So people say, oh man, so we're not getting Blade. Wonder Man season 2 was canceled. Kang didn't get recast. They just dropped the Kang story. They let Sam get put to the back burner by Steve for Doomsday. Monica Rambeau is nowhere to be seen. Ironheart just failed. Blah 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 blah. And then people still complain about the Black Panther. Let me say what the fuck all this is. I need y'all to get out y'all fucking feelings. And then people are going to say, well, Jay, you're shilling for Marvel and blah, 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 blah. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm thinking logically and reasonably. So, yes, Marvel probably should not have pumped fake with saying they were doing Wonder Man season 2. But has anybody fucking stopped to think? Because, yes, even the showrunner, Andrew Guest, was like, well, damn, we were getting ready to have the writer's room to break the show and do all that and get ready to write, et cetera, et cetera. And then this shocked everybody. It happens. It sucks. It absolutely does in the day and age in which this industry is. But people also keep bringing about the character. Do you think that Marvel Studios would just let Yahya Abdul-Mateen II go after having an amazing performance that is now Emmy nominated? Do y'all not forget that there's a potential of him doing what? Going into the larger MCU. I don't know why no one is thinking about that. Now, do I think about the other actors? Yes. Jean Isle is a friend of mine. Bashir Savan, friends of mine. I absolutely hate that they have lost their jobs, but there's still a potential for them to be seen somewhere down the line within the larger universe. Because again, Simon Williams in this Wonder Man is all about his family, okay? Sam Wilson is not being placed and put on the back burner by Steve Rogers. I don't know why the fuck y'all say that just because you saw Steve in the trailer. Do y'all not also realize that when Steve Rogers does come back, there's another iteration, another nomenclature he has called Nomad, okay? Sam Wilson is Captain America. Here's the problem, though. A lot of y'all act like you didn't want to go see the movie. So that's not on Marvel Studios.
Which movie?
Brave New World.
I mean, it also wasn't. It's because it wasn't good.
But it also caught. But again, that's fair. But I also will stand on this. Sam Wilson has had the most unfortunate luck with his 2 projects. What do you mean by that, Jay? Falcon and Winter Soldier had to be fucking reshot and redone because why? The original plot point of Falcon and Winter Soldier were him and Bucky's trying to stop a terrorist resistance group from unleashing a what? Global pandemic. And guess what happened in real fucking life? A global pandemic. Should they have pushed the whole project back? Probably. I agree. So then ask yourself, Jay, what happened with Brave New World? Well, there was a character that's in the movie who was a major part of the film, a major plot point. But the unfortunate events of October 7th made them have to scrap 89% of that and try to shoehorn other things into the film, which left us with the mangled mess that we got on screen. It is not a Marvel Studios fault. Life happened. When you ask, where's Monica Rambeau? She's in another fucking universe, the one with the X-Men that you saw at the end of The Marvels if you watch the fucking movie. She holds open a rip in space-time and gets pushed into another dimension where she sees Kelsey Grammer's Beast and the variant version of her mom who is binary. Monica Rambeau is there. Ironheart has a potential to show back up in another series. You know what? Another movie, actually. It's called Ghost Rider. Why? Mephisto. We don't have a Black Panther. We do. Her name is Shuri. That has been a problem, too. We get this whole recast and child shit keep going. But y'all won't accept the Black woman being the Black Panther, who it is canonically done in the comics. She carries the mantle. It'd be a different story if you were saying, oh, they just threw it on his mama. Or they just threw it on one of the Dora or Nakia. In the comics, Shuri possesses the mantle. I say all this to say, so many people keep saying we're trying to erase Black leads. Jonathan Majors was in fucking trouble.
Thank you for finding that, man. I've been looking for it.
There was another one. Jonathan Majors was in legal trouble. They're like, oh, well, they could have just recast Kang. Here's the problem. Yeah, I get that. But you do realize when you bet a lot of money on a major star, you just pivot to the next thing. People keep being like, oh, they just all of a sudden decide to go to Doom. No, all roads were always leading to Doom.
It was always going to eventually get to Doom, especially knowing Kang's connection to Doom. They just kind of jumped a step.
They just jumped
pull the asset back up for a minute there, Matt, please. Because there's some other stuff to just point out.
Armor Wars. Here's the problem.
So hold on. I got it for here right now. So give me a second. So one of the first things to keep in mind, as we mentioned, at the end of the day, this is business, right? People did not show up to go see Brave New World, so that makes that hard to kind of continue with that particular pass. As good as Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur was, people were not watching the show. The show got canceled because people were not watching it. You end up in a similar scenario of they haven't focused on Monica, as dope as Monica was. And even though I personally don't feel like the Marvels was as bad as been alluded to, you had too many people that also did not go see, and that became one of their largest flops of a movie. So that as well ultimately becomes very hard to be like, well, we need to rush Monica back in because it wasn't doing that. At the end of the day, you have to look at it. If it don't make dollar, it don't make sense to a business. Ironheart. Yes, it was kind of fucked how they decided to do the full drop and how they did everything as far as that goes, and they were almost trying to bury it, but same thing. If it had magically done crazy numbers, then there would have been more to it. Am I saying that there is a scenario where the optics of this looks fucking horrible? Yeah, the optics look really, really bad, but at the end of the day, if y'all want to see these Black leads and these characters continue to do stuff, we have to show the fuck up. We have to blow up those numbers the way that we did with these first 2 Black Panther movies, that they go, this makes money. Let's keep doing it. The minute they couldn't make Blade figure out, they're like, all right, Ryan, look, man, you done with Sinners, bro? Can you please come back and make us some more money? You print cash. Can you please? He goes, only if I can shoot it in 70 mil IMAX. Done. 70 mil IMAX, whatever you want. Go. Oscars and shit, go.
Armor Wars. Here's the issue with that. And everybody can think, well, it was supposed to be a series, then it's supposed to be a movie. Here is the number one issue. Don Cheadle's contract. You do, for those who don't know the backstory, do y'all know how and when Don Cheadle got his job? Do y'all remember Don Cheadle was at a kid's birthday party when they called him and said, hey, do you want this role? You need to sign on for 10, 12 years, and we need your answer in an hour.
I didn't know it was that quick, but.
In an hour. They told that man, you have to, you want to do this, you need to sign on yes for 10 years, 10, 12 years, and we need your answer in an hour. You have dedicated over a decade of your life to decide if you're going to do a roadie central story. You need to know if your main character is still going to be around as that person. So people aren't thinking, like you said, dollars and cents.
It's not just that. Mind you, they put out a bad product with Secret Invasion. But literally, look what anything that touched Secret Invasion has been fully sidelined at this point. You decided to like retcon that Rhodey the whole time was actually a Skrull. We don't quite know when that happened, but now we have to introduce his character. Have you noticed that since Secret Invasion, we've heard nothing from Nick Fury or Rhodey just because it did not do fucking well? Again, I am not saying that there isn't something to look at the optics of this because how it keeps happening. It doesn't help that all of a sudden in properties that had nothing to do with the MCU proper, T'Challa just magically disappeared, and it was T'Chaka and X-Men 97 and all that kind of shit and everything else that's going on, which wouldn't have made sense because it was supposed to be in the same timeline as the Fantastic Four series that was out, which had T'Challa at that point. There's a number of different ways you can kind of point to stuff and go, nah, man, that looks bad. That looks bad. And there's some that is. And then there's other that it honestly makes more sense. It's not just that Kang had, that Jonathan Majors had legal issues. Again, what did Quantumania actually do? It did decent numbers for what it was, but all people did was shit on that movie and also talk about how they didn't fuck with Kang.
Because they didn't like the finish of my wrestling brain. They didn't like the third act in the finale. You know why it had to change? And I've said it on the show. The third act of that movie had to change because originally, it wasn't going to be just some ants killing Kang. Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly were going to be stuck in the quantum zone, and they were going to have to do a whole nother movie in the quantum zone, and Rudd and Lilly did not want to do another film, a full film. They want to appear in shit. They don't want to have to do their own movie. So now you have to switch things.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
I honestly didn't. And to be honest with you, I know that the way they did it is I was defeated, but like there's already been talks about what would have happened as far as Kang Dynasty is that he wasn't necessarily defeated. He was just thrown into an even further like kind of microverse scenario, and that would have been a like
he was thrown out. Yeah, he went from the quantum to the microverse.
So it wasn't a defeated as in he was killed. It was defeated as in like the ants fucked enough with his tech that he just ended up trapped, and he was going to have to find another way back out. Which it's Kang. Kang always finds a fucking way back out. So, again, I am not going to sit here and pretend that things don't look great from the way things have been presented.
I agree. The optics look terrible.
They look fucking terrible. But the fact that Luke Cage is already being brought back into the fold with Daredevil, the fact that you did recast T'Challa, granted it's T'Challa Jr., T'Challa 2, however you want to see it. I know people still want to get, like, upset about that shit. I feel like go hug your mama. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Like you still got T'Challa back, and you found a clean way now since to the original T'Challa that we had got with Nakia. That's a clean way for this one, especially knowing you're going young anyway with the X-Men to go get with Storm, because now they would be the same age, and that you didn't have to go have a divorce happen with that. There's a lot of ways that this is actually lining up pretty well. I just need people to relax. If we end up in a scenario where truly, when we get into Doomsday, if you fully write off Sam and he is fully relegated to the back and all that kind of shit, and you're really bringing Steve back in, we can have a conversation. If you end up in a scenario where like T'Challa is like a very minor thing in like his own movie, or you really regulate the Black Panther and Wakanda universe off to the side, we can have a conversation. If you get to the X-Men and you don't find a way to properly introduce Storm or Bishop or other characters, we can have a conversation. But the way things are going right now, because also
down the line, Bishop is a character that actually comes further down the line.
Right. And I would even go so far as to say, I think probably it's fucked that Wonder Man got canceled, but I think probably what ended up happening, and this makes sense, I think it was a scenario where they were very serious because of how critically and an audience acclaimed that the thing was. I think the minute that shit started going the way that it was with Destin, with Spider-Man, and how they felt this was going and everything else, nah, nigga, you do Spider-Man and you do Shang-Chi, you ain't doing shit else. You ain't doing a goddamn thing.
Or because you were the one that helped create Wonder Man, you make a Wonder Man movie.
That's also a possibility.
You make a Wonder Man movie.
You also throw in the fact that, like, as far as everything has been going with Wonder Man and everything else, if they were like, not only does he not have time to do it, if they ultimately started that process, because they said they never were able to lock down a writer's room in the first place. They were trying to, but they couldn't. If you had all the scheduling shit that popped up and everything else, it might have been we can't have this in limbo forever. We have stuff that we're really focused on right now. Things are going in the positive direction. We'll use Wonder Man, but we can't continue with this. I don't love it because of how good Wonder Man was, but I get it. Again, that feels like a business thing. So again, Jay and I are not saying that there couldn't potentially be some fuck shit that's going on, but there is too much evidence to point to other things than to immediately say that is the problem.
Echo, cancel. Hawkeye, cancel. There's a bunch of other shows that have also been. I think that's another thing too. When you keep saying, "Oh, they're getting rid of all that black lead," but people are saying it as if these are the only things that have been gone, and that's not true.
Like She-Hulk is gone.
She-Hulk is gone.
You know what I'm
people
saying?
Like, well, people say, "Well, it wasn't good." It doesn't matter. It doesn't hold to the narrative of they're only getting rid of these things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm.
Like, if Fantastic Four, to that point, if Fantastic Four and the Thunderbolts weren't so intricately tied into what is about to happen, even though those were good movies, there's a world where they may have also been like, all right, fuck that. We're not fucking with this shit, whatever. We'll look at something else. But if you notice, most of the things that were canceled in that regard, they were not at the top tier of like A-list Marvel characters as far as that stuff goes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
also,
yeah, go ahead.
Saying that real quick, I just want to add a quick addendum to that. I need y'all to understand who are the legitimate A-list Marvel characters, not what the movies have made, because there is a difference.
Spider-Man, the X-Men, the Hulk,
Thor, and Hulk.
I would say Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America are a more recent thing. The Hulk, someone put me on game.
Thor is always no. Thor has always been up there.
I don't know about that, dude.
Bro, you got to go back to Adventures in Babysitting. That is how far. That's why I tell you that. If you go back to the 80s, Thor has always been up there, bro.
But when you say A-list,
Thor is the A-list.
Time out. When you say A-list, I apply A-list the same way that we do in other things, whether it be athletes or movie stars or musicians. It's one that is so widespread, known by the world, that even if you don't play in that world, you understand it. Thor got that same boost once the MCU really did what it did for Iron Man, Captain America, and all that. The Hulk was the only one that was pulling like that.
Winston, Jay is right. Thor was one of Marvel's top sellers for years. He was one of the original Marvel characters, and that has carried on for decades. There was a lull for a bit, and then the MCU brought him back into popularity. But like, people forget how hyped people were when Thor was crossing over with the Incredible Hulk in the original.
In the original movie, bro. In the original 80s movie. Or 90s it was. But
I think it's 80s, you're right. But yeah.
Winston, I have, you know how I have that in my house, you know I have that Skyline vertical painting?
Mm-hmm.
I have one that has the original, that has the Marvel letters in it.
Mm-hmm.
And in it are Spidey, Wolverine, Hulk, Thor, and I think like one or two other people, but
I'm looking at a couple different things real quick, and a lot of this is saying that Captain America would have been a higher up than Thor as far as that goes. Just looking at this, I'm looking at a couple different things about that, and just the idea of
B-list character. Cap was a B-list character, and Iron Man was C-list.
Yeah, Iron Man was definitely B or C-list. I agree, but they essentially here says that the Trinity, if you're not including any X-Men stuff, would be Hulk, Captain America, and Spider-Man. That's what I'm seeing a lot of people saying in that regard. I don't know if I necessarily agree, but the Hulk was one that I didn't really process like that until people were like, nah, man, because of the TV show, because of the multiple movies before that, the Hulk had really the fact that people could go around saying you wouldn't like me when I'm angry, and they've been saying that shit for decades, that proves that Hulk was in that lexicon. We all know Spider-Man, great power, great responsibility, all that shit.
I got one better for you. There was a lawsuit the WWF had. Marvel Studios had it, Marvel Comics, had against the WWF because of the name Hulk Hogan.
Which is why I'm giving you that, but you guys keep saying Thor. I just don't agree with you.
Thor. History shows me more Thor than, like I said, I saw more Thor around than I've seen Hulk. And I'm not saying Hulk didn't go, but I would put Thor over fucking Captain America for sure. Cap, yes, Cap had 3 terrible ass movies back in the 80s, but that was it. Thor was popping up everywhere. Thor merchandise, everything. Again, the movie, and I always bring this up. The movie Adventures in Babysitting was one of the most pivotal things that showed you Thor was in the mainstream lexicon.
I mean, that's fair. I would make the argument that the only 3 true A-listers, their own trinity, I guess you would argue, would be Spider-Man, the X-Men, and Hulk. That would be my argument, that those were the only 3, and Thor could have been like a high B.
X-Men. And they didn't even fully the X-Men. It's only one. It's really one character.
They took a further leap which is why X-Men 97 was such a smart move, because of the 90s and when that happened. So around the time that Batman took an even further leap himself with Batman the Animated Series, you had the same thing happen because of X-Men the Animated Series. Like, that's the thing though, is like I'm literally thinking of the standpoint of, you got to think in terms of the general populace, not us nerds or blurs or anything else like that.
That's what I think you're not getting from me. I am talking from the general populace. I am talking from, again, that's why I brought up Adventures in Babysitting. That's why I brought that movie up. That's why I'm not talking about just in the nerd geek realm, as even as kids. I'm talking about the larger mainstream section.
Because I never saw that movie. What specifically happens with Thor in that movie that you're saying that was a thing?
If Elizabeth Shue plays a babysitter, 3 kids, and they have this wild adventure throughout the city of Chicago. The little girl, her whole thing is about loving Thor. She wears the Thor type baseball cap. She has a little makeshift Milnor, everything. They meet a dude later in the movie that fuck around is the real Thor. But they're like, no, that can't be Thor. And all these things happen.
Played by who, Jay?
I couldn't remember who played him.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio played Thor in Adventures in Babysitting.
Okay, so the only thing that I would say, how big of a movie was Adventures in Babysitting?
Oh my gosh!
I've literally never heard of this movie.
That's why I'm
You've never heard of this movie? It's a seminal.
Which is also crazy. You see how both. This is one of the very times on this show. Me and Matt are in unison.
The fact that you have to agree with each other is hilarious. But just from the standpoint of, first of all,
we've got homework before next episode. Fuck this.
We've literally gone over this multiple times. That if you're talking about 80s movies, there is going to be a blank spot for me just based because, again, this movie came out 5 months before I was born.
I was born in 94. Hush.
Nigga, be quiet for a second and let me finish my fucking statement. I have said this multiple times that my parents don't fuck with movies like that. Your dad is a goddamn film critic.
My dad didn't show me that movie. I discovered it myself.
It doesn't matter. You have seen infinitely more movies potentially in the 80s just by the nature of what your family does for a living. If I didn't find the movie myself, then it wasn't watched. So for most of the shit that I was watching, it would have been stuff starting in the 90s as far as that goes. I haven't had a need or a desire to necessarily go back to 80s movies unless someone goes, how the fuck have you not seen so-and-so? And then I go and see it. Like, relax, my nigga. Jesus.
The only stuff my father showed me was Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Star Trek, and that was it.
You act like that's not big. You know what? My none of those. You stupid fuck.
The rest of my movie knowledge, the majority of it is self-made,
which is fair. And I did the same thing. And it was.
Let me do this. I'll do this. Stop, Matt. Stop, Winston. Matt, ask this question, Winston. Because I know the answer. I know Matt will be able to answer this. Have you seen War Games?
I know of War Games. I've not seen it though.
Have you seen Broken Arrow?
No.
Have you seen Iron Eagle?
No.
That explains a lot then.
I can say I've only seen War Games on that list.
But I used a list of a lot of those top movies in that day. I just picked like a bunch of random ones because there's a list of them. But again, I say all of that to say this. And Matt, please just go out. Let us finish this for a moment. Thank you. I say all that to say this. Because you are unfamiliar with it does not deny its legacy and its point, its standing in the pop culture lexicon.
I don't disagree.
And when you say again, because we're talking, you brought up and I'm bringing it up because you said not just nerds per se. And that's what I'm saying. This is a big one.
I don't disagree with you. Literally the only reason I've debated whether or not Thor would really be considered that A-lister like that is, again, just by the nature of just saying, yo, what are some of the top superheroes you can think of? Literally, if we put this on Blerd's Gonna Feud, my nigga. And we were like, what is a top tier superhero that you know?
Yeah, but you're gonna think, but
it's gonna be hard now because of the MCU that's gonna manipulate.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the MCU changes things, but if you're going general knowledge of people.
But it's literally why it was such a big deal that the MCU was able to take off the way that it was, because they didn't have access, as they have said, to their A-listers. So they had to go with literally what was sitting right up next. And for them to pull it off was such a huge fucking deal.
But I hear it, but I'm saying Thor was always an A-list. You're going around. Thor was always an A-list.
Okay, here's what we're going to do, because this is perfect. Right. No, I'm going to tell you right now, Jay. First of all, you know exactly what the fuck you're cutting for Instagram is this, and to find little clips of this argument to put in the fucking short. In the comments here, in the comments on Instagram and TikTok or wherever we're posting that short, was Thor an A-lister before the MCU? Yes or no? And if so, give us your arguments as to why you think that is the case, yes or no. Because this is actually a fascinating debate.
We're talking
pop culture wise. Fuck comics. Yes, we're talking about pop culture. Because again, let me explain once again, as I'm describing an A-lister is the idea of somebody that if you really know virtually nothing about a thing, if you hear the name though, a layman would understand it. So to that point, when you think of basketball, it's like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry, probably Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, just because of what they did in that kind of cultural lexicon. It doesn't mean that players like Kevin Durant aren't a big fucking deal, but obviously what Steph did, what LeBron did in this past era just cemented shit. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of idea. When you think of like movie stars, it'd be like a Will Smith, a Tom Cruise, a Brad Pitt, those names that no matter where you go around the world, they have probably heard of that person.
Matt brought up a good point in our chat. Matt brought up a very valid point, and I will give him props on this one. He said, because you need to specifically talk to people from that time period, so to get a true answer like me. So here's the thing. If I put this out, that's fine. We have the social media element of it. And again, there are going to be the MCU fans, right? But when I say pop culture, we're talking about going back.
So there's an easy way to do that too, though, because I know people are going to argue that one way. If we went to go, like if we did like an interview on the street and we were like, yo, name an A-list superhero as far as that goes. If they brought up Hulk, be like, oh, good question. Did you know about Hulk before you saw any of the MCU movies? And if they go, oh, no, I had never heard of him until I saw it, that actually is a very good way to understand what's going on there. People had heard of fucking Spider-Man long before the movies had come out because Spider-Man had just invaded the pop culture lexicon.
Yeah, as did Thor.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think that that's the case. I do not think that it was that. I do not think Thor was at the same level as Spider-Man, the X-Men, or the Hulk.
Here's why I have this makes sense now. Again, me being older than you, me seeing and me and experience, and here's why. Me seeing and experiencing, and again, the responses I gave you from a general populace answer, not from a nerd answer. Me being, will let you know, yes, Thor has been there. That's what I'm saying.
That again, look, I will take the L if I'm taking the L, but again, everything that has really kind of cemented who your kind of big three, like A-lister as far as superheroes with DC, it's easy. It's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. It's their trinity. With Marvel, it was Spider-Man, the Hulk, and the X-Men. If you wanted to push it a little further, you might make the argument. I would make the argument that the Fantastic Four were bigger than Thor as far as that goes, just based off of the whole flame on of everything and it's clobbering time.
There's a reason we hold Marvel's first family in regard, and I'm not going to take that away. But we got to move on. We do.
We do.
Streamlabs.com/blerdsndahood/tip. Streamlabs.com/blerdsndahood/tip. To everybody in the neighborhood that is watching us now, please give us your thoughts in these comments, man. I want y'all to run these numbers up, like this video, all that stuff. You're listening on the replay, et cetera, et cetera. The WNBA, man, has been on fire still, and about time somebody else is getting the spotlight. And I'm going to say it just that way. The potential goddamn.
What the fuck is that image? Contusion.
Gotcha, bitch.
Contusion. Why did I say that like Hadouken? What the fuck is wrong with me, bro?
We got to talk about the Street Fighter forever later. Olivia Miles of the Minnesota Lynx, who is prone right now to be the Rookie of the Year, is finally getting the respect she deserved. She recently just sent the links on what was it, a 10-game streak? 10 game, and actually broke
still on.
That are on there on a 10-game winning streak and has broke the Fever's 5-game streak. And she has been balling out of control. Now, yes, Caitlin Clark is in the thing. And this play in particular, people are trying to say, oh, Olivia need Caitlin. It's like when you see the actual footage, what happens? Caitlin Clark is jumping into Olivia Miles to try to make the defensive stop. There is no Olivia Miles just throwing a knee up in the air like she's Lou fucking Kang, okay? But on the Fever, we always talk about what we hear about. I won't say talk about because we don't do it like that. We hear about Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, but we need to talk about the actual superstar for real on the Fever who is not being discussed mostly, Kelsey Wheeler, because she is also
Kelsey Mitchell?
Mitchell, excuse me. My last name.
Erica Wheeler, Kelsey Mitchell.
Kelsey Mitchell. My brain went to two different people. It happens. We've been talking about a lot of shit. I've been fired up all day. Kelsey Mitchell, who has been balling her ass off.
She has been.
And I think, and Mitchell is an MVP candidate this season. I think the reason I'm bringing this up, because I saw it before we start, I talked about it earlier in the show, and one of the reasons for us to talk about it is now that two people who should have been discussed in the limelight amidst all the BS quote-unquote controversy are finally getting the nonstop accolades they deserve. You, Winston, as a WNBA season ticket holder, I wanted to hear your thoughts about this.
I mean, yeah, I think the main thing that comes out of my mind is the fact that the Sparks traded Plum, which is frustrating.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, they traded Kelsey Plum. She's been traded to the Phoenix Mercury at the trade deadline yesterday afternoon. It happened for a reason in the sense that the way things have been going hasn't been going particularly well, and she becomes a free agent next year. So in all honesty, what they probably looked at, because they fired our GM for a bunch of stupid moves that the GM made over the last couple of years, they probably looked at it and go, we can't guarantee that Kelsey will stay if we offer a new contract. So let's at least get something. So they were able to get a first and a second round, a first next year and a second the following year out of the Mercury for it. So you got something instead of nothing. But it fucking sucks to see that. Now, to come back around to all of this, yeah, I think there's a couple things here. One, I think it's very interesting that do the Wings look at themselves and go, did we fuck up by not taking Olivia Miles instead of AZ Fudd? However, I think that it was the better move in the sense that Paige and Olivia play a kind of similar style of game. And so it's one of those things that you didn't want to necessarily double up, whereas AZ is a good complement as a guard to what Paige does. I still think a lot of people are like, regardless of that, it may have just behooved you to be like, nigga, figure it out, because the best person in the actual draft is going off right now. You should have figured out how to make that work. But a lot of people were like, you keep your current star happy. Paige just balled out of control for you. Keep her happy. Bring a girl over here and a good player that complements her play style. So there's that. But Olivia Miles is the truth. Olivia Miles is doing the types of things that, like, just for reference, only one person in league history has won Rookie of the Year and MVP, and that was Candace Parker that did that years ago. And people are making those comparisons because she's top 5 in MVP voting, is the clear runaway for Rookie of the Year right now. If she continues on this tear, especially because the Lynx are number 1 in the league, you might have to make an argument, even if her numbers are lower than Asia and they're lower than Caitlin, as far as like scoring and all that kind of stuff, the complete all around of it, held it the fuck down until you could get Nafisa Collier back, and you leave the number 1 seed. The voting might just swing to give it to Olivia because of what you're able to do as a rookie.
I think, again, I say all this to say, as someone who was not, I won't even say I was on the bandwagon or somebody who was at. I've been watching the Sky for a couple years. When we won them chips, I was out here with my Chicago Sky shit. So I'm not gonna lie, I was out here rocking my Chicago Sky shit. But I think this is starting to, again, 30 years of this league. These players have done. You have the greats we all know of, going back to the Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie's, all of them. The oh my God, Tarazi was about to retire. Did she retire already, or is she about to?
She retired.
She retired. The greats in the game to now this new generation of superstars. And yes, you can include Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham in it. Well, I include Caitlin more than Sophie because Sophie's stats don't warrant it, but Caitlin Clark's stats do. That's me giving her props like you should, and going off of gameplay. I need people to just
because like just for reference right now. First off, if here I'll show you the head to head here, which I think is actually kind of interesting. Let's see. So, sorry about that. Here we go right now. Boom. And boom. So just looking at this, let me see if I can make this a little bigger. So you can see, obviously this is comparing their overall stuff, but right now you already see that Olivia is actually overall as a career. If you just want to go with the season, let me change it to just this season. Let's see.
Same season.
Yep, I need to go third. There we go. Get results. So there you go. So you have a scenario where, yes, you've got more points on Caitlin's side, and yes, you have more assists on Caitlin's side, but rebounds, steals, blocks, her field goal percentage, her 3-point percentage, her free throw percentage, like all of this, you're ending up, she already has an all-star. Like there's just so much going on that Olivia Miles is doing. And again, you're talking about a scenario that, yes, they got to the semis last year, but you're talking about a scenario that you did that while you had Nafisa Collier there to lead the team. The minute Collier got injured, the team fell off a cliff and they ended up not making it to the finals. And Olivia was able to pick up the slack and hold it down while the leader of the team was not on board and essentially become a new leader of the team as a rookie. It's been insane. It has been absolutely insane. And on top of that, people want to talk about one of the things that drew them to watching Caitlin Clark ball is the idea of like, man, she's shooting logo threes. That shit is crazy. Watching these passes from Olivia Miles is insane. Dude, there's one where one's coming and she knows she could potentially get blocked, so she throws it back between her legs like it's fucking an and one mixtape to somebody ready in the three to just drain. Like, please go watch Olivia Miles highlights. They're insane. Fucking A, bro.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all watch them. Streamlabs.com/Blerds in the Hood /tip. We've had a long discussion. Let's see. So the Cleveland WNBA expansion team is teased dropping their new name. Leading fans believe the new team name will be the Sirens after a series of social media posts featuring the phrase, hear the call around bodies of water. I thought that was just the fact it was dirty ass water in Lake Erie.
Even Matt found that shit funny. Look at this nigga.
Listen, our river caught fire years ago. I can't say shit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God. All right.
Let's see. Real quick, this last thing.
Yeah, what's this last story?
So, have you heard about the Christian influencer who opened a men's only gym? He opened it to quote unquote combat cheating. He literally said this.
I feel like this is actually just going to cause more cheating. It's just going to be it's going to be a bunch of bros helping with they lift, dog. Let me help you lift, dog.
So he says the Christian manosphere believes men need to be in top position to accomplish status through quote unquote.
Sorry, read it again because whatever you just clicked on just cut you out for a second.
That wasn't me. The Christian manosphere believes men need to be in top physical and spiritual shape. So one way they're proposing to accomplish that is through quote unquote lust-free gyms.
Bro,
so,
this is about to be heated Christianity. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, bro? Like,
there's no other way to say this. It's the gayest shit ever. Okay,
I'm gonna be really real. I feel like this is. I just watched Heated Rivalry with Kristen this past week.
It was a lot of sex, a lot of aggressive sex in that movie.
Just really aggressive, and I feel like that's exactly what's going to happen here. This does not feel like this is going to do what they think it's going to do.
The gym name refers to the Bible verse that reads, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." I'm sorry, what, bro? This is by far.
Yo, we gonna bro down and live for Christ. You don't know about this? We about to live for Christ, baby.
So. Do me a favor, Matt, and can you zoom in a little more because it's so little? That's wild to say. Pause.
Jesus Christ!
Man!
Oh
boy! So,
God.
as it says here, the website said there was a season of Hambrick's life, the guy who created, that was marked by homelessness, addiction, and spiritual emptiness. And in another video, he said he had a pornography addiction for almost 20 years. What type of porn? So it's the second men-only Christian gym, youth group for men and remnant men, and opens in Denver. Oh, so you get to suck dick while being a mile high up. He describes the gym as, quote, listen to this, a place where a man can train his body without having the nakedness shoved in his face. And it goes on to say, a place where he doesn't have to decide between honoring the Lord, honoring the wife, and guarding his eyes and submitting to cultural norms.
I mean,
which it turns me.
I mean, look, I'm not saying that there's anything necessarily wrong with the idea of any of that one way or the other. However, the way that this is being presented just reads so coded, as in like, this is where I can go and do, like, I'm sorry. Like, all I hear in my mind, the only thing I hear in my mind is the song YMCA. You could like, I just the young man. There's a place you can go. I said young man. Like, that's really all I hear. There's
no need to be
unhappy. Bill. It's fun to jacket. Just like, all right, I know we gotta go soon. Did you want to try and get one? Keep 3 cut 4 real quick.
I got a Karen if you want to do it this week.
Okay, let's do both. Let's do both then.
No,
so
I mean, we got I mean, what do we want to do?
All right, so this is the last one that I didn't have, since we're getting a lot of news about the Doomsday, and whatnot. Keep 3 cut 4 players in the movie Avengers Doomsday. So these, in this case, these are ones that you're like, absolutely needs to happen. Fuck everything else. If they're not in here like prominently, I'm rioting.
All right, come on.
All right, you ready? Up first, in all forms and all variants, Steve Rogers. You were thinking heavy on this one.
Because I'm trying to know. So when I think of these now, I have to think, how does Winston think? Because if I get rid of Steve, do I eventually remove Sam Wilson from having the shield?
It's a good question.
Because then it becomes, why you don't like black people?
Because clearly we are the problem. That's this. I need you to make a decision.
I'm keeping Steve.
You're keeping Steve. All right. Up next, King of Atlantis, Namor.
No, you trying to break up happy homes, nigga. You got to go.
Look, man. She just said, "Are you sure you want this dude clearly over here? I don't know what's going on in his head. Didn't he try and give up your baby? I wouldn't make you give up your baby."
Hey, you won't give up your baby, bitch?
I'm fine.
That nigga
I'm not that nigga trying to kill my father.
That nigga kill my mother. That nigga kill my mother.
Hey, I'm good dating single mamas. Come on now. I ain't worried about no divorce. Say fuck a Reed. Come over here and fuck with Namor, girl.
Get that nigga Namor out of here. That nigga Namor out of here.
Damn, not Matt going, is it breaking up happy homes when JayWashington does go? Matt, you gotta chill, bro. Okay, your next one, Dr. Doom.
Hell, you keep Victor. You keep Victor.
I'm just making sure. All right, up next, Loki.
He can die. The nigga said his neck snapped by my Thanos.
Loki
said,
can go.
I'll never go back to that horse was like, hey, no resurrection from this one, bitch. And he broke his nigga neck with a thumb.
Like he was pushing a Pez out of a Pez dispenser. Jesus. 4.
Hey, it's some bullshit.
Why? Why? Why is it bullshit?
After the whole conversation we just had, if I go, no, cut Thor. I'm like, hey, fuck what this nigga talking about.
I don't know, nigga. What are we doing?
Keeping Thor. I don't give a shit who we cut after that.
Okay, so then yeah, you are officially done. So you have kept Steve Rogers, Dr. Doom, and Thor. You have cut Namor. I don't like
black people.
You've cut Namor. You've cut Loki. You've cut the Falcon, aka Torres.
Oh, goodbye.
And you've cut Ant-Man.
Oh, thank God. Okay. oh, praise Jesus. Oh, praise God. Oh, praise God. Oh my God. Oh, praise God. Oh, praise Jesus. Oh.
You were really worried there for a minute, weren't you?
Oh, boy. Ooh, okay.
You literally thought I was about to send it in and be like, get his ass. Well, now it's time for an ode to Karens.
And now, an ode to Karens, brought to you by Blerds N The Hood. Now, before we go into this dedication, you must be asking yourself, well, what is a Karen and what does it mean? Well, Karen is a mocking slang term for an entitled, obnoxious, middle-aged white woman, especially as featured in memes. Karen is generally stereotyped as having a blonde bob haircut, asking to speak to retail and restaurant managers to voice complaints or make demands, and being a nagging, often divorced mother from Generation X. Karens most notably have been known now to call the police on black people when they're just doing this thing called living. You know, something that God allowed them to do. This includes Barbecue Becky, Permit Patty, Sleepin' Sarah, and a host of others. And typically Karens feel that because they are white women, they are entitled to do whatever they want and make life choices based on their insecurities as well as fears. Well, here are a few moments of wild Karens caught in their natural habitat.
Whew, okay, I feel better now because I was nervous.
He was so worried.
I was so worried, bro. I was so worried. So here's a nice little two-parter. Let me show. I want you guys to enjoy what happens when a woman. I think this was. I labeled it Atlanta, but I think if I'm not mistaken, it might be in Texas. So don't pay attention to what the city says, but enjoy this first part, and then just trust me.
I've got a fucking epilepsy. You fucking touch me again, you black fucking nigger.
I knew you was gonna come out. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. No.
Fuck you.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that.
Uh-oh.
Because
what's coming?
I wish I'd played the video in full, but I just wanted to break it down in parts because I wanted to build up the suspense.
Oh, God.
Part 2.
Girl, you're going to jail. Said you're going to jail tonight. That lady's going to jail. You're going to jail tonight. That lady's going to jail. Said you're going to jail tonight. That lady's going to jail. Said you're going to jail tonight.
Do we know what ultimately happened here?
I just know whatever she snapped on. The video shows her snapping about people, on black people, and then they would like call the police, and then she got arrested by a black officer. So I just feel like that was worthy of a quick Karen for today.
Damn, that's real pathetic, man. That is real sad. So it's always so wild because like every black person said that in the first part of the video of being like, just wait for it, y'all. She's like, don't you? I'm you black. Whoa, there it is.
And that's the crazy part. It's always like you can tell. Listen, I will not say you will never catch me saying all white people are racist.
No,
I will say an overwhelming majority are. I think I know 12 to 15 that aren't. No, because then you start having people be like, am I in the 15?
Literally every white person you know is out here being like, only 15? And they're like, well, so-and-so can't be.
Oh my God.
What is
am I number 11? Am I 8? Am I number 8? But
that's
you will have those moments with people where you're like, it's gonna happen. And then they'll use the whole, well, I was just upset and I was just so enraged. This is why I said the word. So you were enraged. So you decided to call a person a racial slur.
All that rage did was just let down the walls that you've clearly been trying to use to contain yourself. Like, what are we?
That's all it did. You just allowed the borders and the barriers to be brought down. But you know, if you see a crazy Karen, you want to send it to us, Blerds N The Hood and DA. I need to change the fucking email. I've been trying to do so much. Hey, I think y'all need to understand and give me a break. I'm the only person uploading this shit to Spotify. I'm the only one cutting these social media clips. I'm the only one trying to find these Karens all the time. Majority of the time, I'm the only one trying to do. Oh, I got to update the email name. It's a lot, and I'm tired.
You literally act like I'm not out here doing the thumbnails, managing the YouTube, posting the stuff that's up there. Like,
what's
come
on YouTube? What's on the YouTube?
Literally putting together literally the family feuds, posting that shit, cutting that around the neighborhoods, and I know you fucking lines that we need to record more of so I can cut more of them and put more of them up. Don't you fucking do this. We're not gonna end the show on us fucking arguing.
I'm not arguing. See, I knew it. Even light-skinned blacks can't be trusted. I fucking
Yeah, okay. Whatever. Fuck this bullshit.
Nigga hush.
I'm a light-skinned nigga. You keep using the light skins. You're proving my point. Thank you, everyone who was watching.
Who are these niggas?
That was just racist. If you just about to support, if you sent in Streamlabs, of course, we will read them all on next week's episode. Please also remember my birthday is August 25th. So if you want to go ahead and send some birthday love in, because
a little early, don't we got 1, 2, 3 weeks.
Well, also it is rent week for a lot of people, so I understand that. So you guys renting bills.
But that was terrible. I paid that shit and I was so mad.
Nigga, I've been putting every little bit of money I have down on my fucking, like, fuck the rent. I've been paying money on my light bill in advance because, nigga, it's just
I am terrified for when that bill comes. I'm
praying to God that shit say credit. Anyway, make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms: Blerds N The Hood, Threads, Instagram. We could have been on TikTok, but they banned us immediately, which was crazy. YouTube as well, and Twitch. We appreciate all of y'all. Winston, tell the people how they can find you.
Absolutely. You can find me at TheSwaggyBlerd on all platforms. By the time this is out, my spoiler reaction for Spider-Man Brand New Day should be out as well. Obviously, we talked about it a lot here, but if you want to hear more of my kind of in-depth individual thoughts, you can check that out. Tuesdays, Spill the Tequila with John Roca. We should be back this week again when this comes out, just because he was out sick with COVID the week prior. Here every Wednesday, myself and Jay. Friday's a Christian Harloff show. And I've had a couple more projects that I've been shooting recently, so keep an eye out for that. Again, if you follow me on social media, then you'll hear more news about that as that happens to be. Jay, what is going on with you?
Hi, I'm going to be doing cocaine for the first time. I'm just playing. I was thinking of why?
Do you know how mad I am at you right now? Because this is a pre-tape, and because I would like for these to make some sort of money on YouTube at some point, I now have to go into Premiere, find this stupid ass moment, bleep it the fuck out, and then put it back in.
It's 207. It's at the end. It's not gonna be difficult.
I am aware, and I hate you. You just gave me more work to do, you ass.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, tell him to do that. Thank you. I mean, I could tell him to get some help the whole fucking time. Anyway,
I'm talking about you, bitch ass nigga.
Oh, that is aggressive. I don't.
You need to leave.
Hold on, real quick before you finish. You also hear it, right, that the person that screams "you need to leave" says "bitch" at the end, right?
No.
We'll listen to it again. Listen to the very last thing that said when you.
You need to leave.
I never heard it before, but I started noticing the last couple times we played it. You need to leave, bitch.
That's why he looked. I thought we all felt the same. Anyway, I got a bunch of stand-up shows this week, so just follow my social media, MrJayWashington, all across the board. Again, September 27th, Sunday, September 27th, I will be in Chicago at the Comedy Bar. One show, 7 p.m. I'm coming home to headline. I don't do that often. Please come out. Come enjoy your fucking self, man. Come see the kid that Chicago made. I'm back home. punchup.live/JWashington for that. The link is in my Instagram. October 2nd, Louisville, Kentucky. One show, 2 nights. I mean, 1 night, 2 show. Oh, my God. I'm tired just as much as he is. October 2nd, and then all of other shit. punchup.live/JayWashington. That was crazy.
So just some of the other things, since apparently I don't do anything around here for our patrons, we want to say,
oh my God.
Yeah, no, I know, since apparently I don't do anything. So one of the things that we want to do, as I mentioned before, my game that I wrote on, pull it up real quick, change my mind. I'm giving away 15 copies to our first 15 patrons. So those that are already a part of that will be getting one. I will be sending a message out to everybody to get a mailing address. That means that we have 8 patrons. I want to shout them out. Amaru Moses, Black Magic Chick, Paige, Norvell 510, Mike Joyce, Original Shinobi, Azare, and Andy F. Again, I'll be sending a message to y'all to get a copy to you. We have 7 left. So the next 7 patrons that sign up for the Blerds N The Hood Patreon will receive that free gift. So keep that in mind. Also, in the description of this, you will see the link to where you can buy the game yourself. So check that out as well. And we have scheduled out, and we will have that coming very soon. We have a couple of Blerds Gonna Feud that need to go out to you guys. We'll get that as well, and some other stuff to just kind of check on that. So shout out again to our patrons that so far have joined. And
we love and appreciate y'all.
We really, really do. All right, we have got to get out of here. Y'all have a great rest of your Wednesday and have a great rest of your week. We will be back live again next week, the 12th. So don't miss it. Again, if you send any Streamlabs in, if you send anything else like that, we will read them next show. But we got number love for the neighborhood, man. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Bye, bitch. Bye, bitch. Bye, bitch. Bye, bitch. Bye, bitch. Bye, bitch.
Man, you do things, okay? You do things. Shut up. Let me say this. You do things for the show. It may not be things that we know of or appreciate or acknowledge or recognize or be productive sometimes or be wanted, but you do things for the show.
Bro.
Check this out, though. First of all, you throwing too many big words at me. Okay, now, because I don't understand them, I'm going to take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth and help me with the sale.